Working with Black events, are you still seeing? Do you still see clients wanting companies wanting to become more diverse because they feel it's right, or are you seeing maybe still a bit of, okay, we should really do something about, what are you seeing?
Really, we talk to partners, we talk to potential partners a lot, and some, and there are people who just organically reach out and say, how can our company support? I think the challenge, like you mentioned, is getting through the why, and being dedicated to what that looks like. I think a lot of companies, from just experience, and I'm not a experienced DEI practitioner in any way, right? You have your Gabbies who's like amazing at that, right? But from just talking with potential partners, I think it's the idea that it sounds great. And then when you speak to potential partners and then they see, maybe what the space that they need to create in their company, the dedication, the time, commitment, that's where they sort of start to scale back. I cannot tell you how many companies have ever reached out to me, and then we have a conversation, so come back. And I think it's because I'm being so honest. I think it's because of, there's a commitment, right? If I say to you, we have people in our community that are looking for jobs, and we're looking at ways to partner and talk about it, and the conversation seems great, but I think there's that, okay, well, I need to talk to, and here's the thing, and maybe this is where the issue is, a lot of people that reach out are not, decision makers. So that can play a big role, and maybe even in this conversation, maybe I should be like, well, you need to bring your decision maker into the conversation before we talk. But a lot of folks, they have to go back to their decision makers, and maybe it's not wanting to implement that budget and dedication and time. So there's so many reasons that could be happening, but I do think the commitment sometimes is a little bit overwhelming. But like you said, it takes the why, it takes education to learn. And one point that you made earlier is, people might look at Black and it's like, why do we need it? Well, we do. And it's just because we need to create a space where there's people who, feel, being somebody in the events industry, leading this, it's funneling the information that is not marketed to a lot of folks in our communities, that's not directed to our communities. There's a lot of panels, there's a lot of events going on in the industry. A lot of the panels, they don't look like a lot of us. Sometimes it's crazy. You said like there's in the UK 90% women, and sometimes you look at those panels, they're men, white men, right? So it's like, what are we?
70% women, 90% white.
90% white, right? So how come our demographics in those panels aren't looking like the representation of who we are? We plan events. That means we are exposed to just the world at large, creative ideas. So we should be showing that in the education that we're showing to people. So there's a lot of people, they may see industry events, but they're like, oh, that's not for me, because, like you said earlier, you kind of associate with what you know, right? Yeah. So, we have some work to do, but, it's getting the conversation out there and keep advocating, and we'll get there. It'll happen.